Hey guys, my name is Ryan, and in this video I will be showcasing a VRChat game that I've been working on over the past several months. So I'm currently in VRChat right now. I have a local test server open, and I'm currently the only player in the map. If I look around, I'll see that I have sort of a Unity sandbox that I've built to kind of test new features. And if I look in front of me, I have a panel that contains variables that tell me the state of the world and the players within it. Behind me, I have structures that store different buildings that I can use to construct and deconstruct buildings for the game. And so far I have maybe about 20 to 30% of the game complete. So in this video I will be showcasing how much progress I've made so far and give you guys a little bit of a tour of what the development side of making a VRChat game looks like utilizing Udon. So I guess the best thing to kind of jump right in is to showcase the actual game itself and then potentially break it down once all the features are shown. If I press the Q button on my keyboard, I'll have a menu that I can see to select different options. These options are they're buildings that I can construct in the game, and each building can do a different feature. If I select the top button, this building is a city icon, and it will allow me to have a schematic that follows my mouse cursor. This schematic is actually a city that is waiting for my command to construct. I can rotate the city, and the city is smart enough to know whether the spot that I'm placing it at is valid or invalid. If I press my left mouse cursor, a city will eventually construct. The variables that you see above the city are variables that tell me the state of the city, the data that it's syncing with the network, and the update status of the city. These same mechanics apply whether I'm spawning a city or, for instance, using the right button, a tower. Finally, after spawning a city and a tower, I can continue to spawn walls to protect my city from invasions. But do note that if walls are too far away from the city, it will become invalid. But if I bring it back into the city territory, it will eventually become valid again. Such walls have a feature that allows panels to be constructed from one wall to the next. And this feature also allows panels to reconnect back to itself. The walls do have a little more data than towers or cities, but they essentially function the same as a typical building being constructed in the map. The last feature to kind of showcase is the feature of refunding buildings. And as I refund buildings, I want to showcase this building silo, which stores the refund building to be used for construction later on. By pressing E on my keyboard, I will be able to refund the building. And such buildings are stored in a silo to be recycled by the network master. And when I'm ready to reconstruct a building, whether it's a tower, or a city, or a wall, that building will be selected from the silo and await instructions to be built. As showcased over here. Currently, this game it supports up to 4 players, and it allows the construction of 10 cities, 10 walls, and 10 towers. Eventually, the game will be balanced so the number of walls and cities and towers can be increased, additionally allowing more than 4 players to play. For further updates and developments on this game, I will probably be changing the models that I use for towers, cities, and walls to be more simplified, to ensure that all players have 90 FPS when they play this game, whether it's in virtual reality or PC. Looking at this panel, I can see here that it is currently tracking the variables of the state in my game. I have my income, how much I have in the bank, and different registries that communicate the state of the player to the VRChat server. So all players can see the same thing as every other player. There are a few things that I need to improve on, which is the count, but such small bugs won't really be discussed in this video. The last feature that I'll showcase is the feature of the unit. I do have plans to allow units to be selected by having a mouse cursor, to select units. But currently, at the moment, all I have is the ability to command units from one location to another. My goal for this is to eventually have several units: warriors, archers, catapults, and the ability to create groups of them to send and conquer other cities. And that is essentially the game so far in VRChat. I am still in the phase of debugging and ensuring that all systems are working. But I think what VRChat has for Udon is quite powerful for those who are looking to create a virtual reality game. From personal experience with utilizing Udon, I've pretty much had no obstacles that I couldn't eventually overcome with a mixture of C# and clever programming. Whether it's a first-person shooter game or an RTS game, I believe many games are possible to be built utilizing Udon. So that's the end of this video, and in my next one I will be showcasing several updates and improvements as I go along in creating a virtual reality game for VRChat.